Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spring 2021 Parent Preseason Athletic Meeting. Just as in years past, before each season, the athletic department is responsible for putting on a parent meeting to get out vital information about both school and OHSAA procedures. If your son or daughter has already played a school-sponsored sport, either in the fall or this past winter, then you do not need to watch this meeting. This is only a once-a-year viewing, so if you went to a meeting or in this case, watch the video in the fall or the winter, then you are exempt from having to watch this video. The first thing is if your son or daughter is playing a sport, please make sure that they are signed up on the proper team on Final Forms. That way we have an accurate, count on who's on what team and, who is the coaches can see on their list when we start checking for physicals and forms to be signed this week. So 1 week from today on March 8th, Monday, March 8th, everything is going to have to be completed on Final Forms in order for your son or daughter to continue to be able to participate. So you have to have a current physical, and all of the forms, both parent and student signatures, have to be signed. So you have 1 week, which will be Monday, March 8th. And at that point, if everything is not done, we will be getting in contact with you, your coach will, and then once that is completed, they'll be allowed to resume practice or games. By this time, everyone, is probably aware of a lot of the COVID protocols that we have taken this year. We're very confident as an athletic department. Our coaches have done a fantastic job, as well as our athletes in both the fall and the winter. We have not really had, fortunately, that many teams that had to shut down. I think a lot of that has to do with the great steps we have taken as far as keeping our kids safe. So we're going to continue a lot of those. There might be some changes as we head into the spring. As always, we're taking our guidance from the OHSAA and from the health department and the CDC. And also, we're going to continue to do the things that we have put in place here as far as temperature checks, mask wearing when the student is not actively participating in their sport, social distancing when they're at practice or a game and they're not actively participating, and we'll make sure we have plenty of sanitizer and everything that you've probably seen throughout this year. So we're going to continue that to try to make sure that we don't have any COVID issues hopefully here as we hit the spring. Also COVID related, with fans, they've recently, Governor DeWine has upped the maximum or number of people you're allowed to have at a sporting event. We've been operating all year at about the 15% number. That number might go up again. I don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see and wait for some more guidance from the OHSAA. So baseball and softball, just like in years past, we're not going to sell tickets. So it really shouldn't be much of an issue for baseball and softball. Track, since we do have the facility, enclosed there in the fencing area and we sell tickets, there will be some sort of a spectator limit, I would assume, as we head into the spring. So your coaches will get the word out as we get closer to track meets. It might be a little bit more than we were allowed in there in the fall. But again, we have to get the official word from the Ohio High School Athletic Association before I can tell you exactly how many tickets you're going to be passed out before each track meet. And the same goes for other venues as well. Each place might be a little bit different. And that's, just what we've dealt with all year. And we'll make sure we get the word out as far as that is concerned. If you have any issues throughout the spring season, I ask that please your first point of contact would be your son or daughter's coach. That individual will have the best insight on, that specific program. And if there are any questions or concerns, they're going to be best suited to answer those for you. If you talk to your son or daughter's coach and there's still something that is either bothering you or you didn't like maybe the answer that you received or you still want some more information, then you can go ahead and reach out to me. Once we talk, if you still, have some needs that are unsatisfied, you can go to the building level principal, whether it be Mr. Hamilton if it's a middle school issue or Mr. Kachemba if it is a high school issue. But again, just to reiterate, most times, more times than not, your son or daughter's coach is going to be best suited to answer those questions and be able to help you out in the best possible manner. With spring sports, there's a lot of changing with schedules, with weather, particularly with baseball and softball. So please check the school's website. The schedules that are on there are the most up-to-date schedules that are available. So anytime there's a change, for any sport, the first place I go is to that school website, and I change everything right on there. So again, that's your best place to go for scheduling purposes as far as when games or contests are. An opportunity we've given families throughout this school year that we're going to continue to give here in the spring is having to do with transportation. If you feel more comfortable allowing, either you taking your student athlete to a contest, then we're going to allow you to do that. So if you think it's either more convenient, or maybe you just would rather your student athlete not ride a bus with other students and you want to drive to and from the game and take your child, then you're going to be afforded that opportunity. You'll be allowed to do so. If you do choose to go that route, we just ask that you please communicate with the coach. There will be a form for you to fill out waiving all district responsibility for transporting your son or daughter to or from contests. So your coach will have more information with that. Grades. So our next set of report cards come out after the first week of competition for spring sports. So the actual date on that is going to be March 26th. March 26th or April 2nd. April 2nd is when the report cards come out. So eligibility is something we go over quite a bit at these preseason meetings. It's a little bit different this year. The Ohio High School Athletic Association waived their end of their eligibility requirements. So currently, the only eligibility requirement comes from our Board of Education, our board policy. And what that is, it says that a student athlete cannot have 2 Fs at a given time to play sports. So for the first week of competition, which is that last week of March, the second 9-week report card is going to be in effect still. So if your son or daughter had 2 Fs on a report card, on the ones we received about 5 weeks ago, then they're going to not be allowed to participate in any contests until the third 9-week report card comes out. And once the third 9-week report card comes out, you cannot have 2 Fs. If you have 2 Fs, you're not going to be eligible to participate for the rest of the spring season. And that also carries, the fourth 9 weeks will carry into the fall. But for the spring sports, it's going to be imperative that, the report cards on April 2nd, when they come out, that you don't have 2 Fs. So there's no other requirements. I know in years past we've talked about number of classes and some different things, but for this year, it is just the 2 F requirement from our Board of Education that you cannot have 2 Fs. If there are any questions about that, you can feel free to reach out to your coach. They'll be able to help you with that. Other than that, picture day is March 15th, and coaches will be getting the word out about what time exactly your team is going to be taking pictures. So we'll get that information out to you. But Monday, March 15th will be pictures. And other than that, if you have any questions, you can reach out. But just please make sure this week that you sign off on all your forms on the Final Forms website and join the correct team. So both the student athlete and yourself, the parent, has to sign off that you viewed this video and that you read throughout the other athletic forms as well. And also, please make sure you have a current physical uploaded on the 8th. And during this week, your coaches will be reaching out to you if there are some certain things that you need to get done before Monday. So this week, everybody's going to be fine to participate. And starting next week, if you don't have a certain aspect done or completed on your end, then your child will not be allowed to participate until that gets completed. Okay, so thanks for viewing. I look forward to seeing everybody out there in the spring here at a track meet or a baseball or softball game. And if you have any questions, please reach out to your coach. Thanks.